Hello, back. We are going to fix our problem. So this is the thing. We had a player 1 and a player 2, but we actually want to separate between schools, don't we? If we're going to add a game and the players, this is quite a crux of the matter, really. Editing a game would be like maybe changing the venue and changing the draw to true or false, and then maybe changing the winner ID. And deleting a game would be very simple. But yeah, when we add a game, we basically adding players, and we need to choose the players from a school. We're adding player IDs to a game that is played, and it would be nice to actually choose them from a school, wouldn't it? So we could have a list of all the available schools in a combo box. So I'm going to put here all the schools here, and I'm going to call it CMB schools. CMB schools. And this combo box will be filled by using arrays. The arrays are going to read, let's say here's your player table. Okay, so we're going to go through the table and fill arrays of all the player names and a parallel array of all the schools. And then we will go through the schools and basically find all the individual school names and then put them into the actual combo box, and then from there we will choose a school, and when we choose a school, the other combo box must display all the names of the learners for that school. So, or we could, I think that would be the best thing. Let's try and do that. Now all of that is going to happen in the on-show event. Yeah, it's a big one. It's an on-show event of the form. I think it should happen there, because when we open this, we want to have a refreshed combo box. So in the on-show event, we will basically fill up schools. So we need 2 global arrays. I suppose, should we make them global? Because when I think about it, I think there should, although we must remember, if you make global variables and these arrays are going to be big, then it means RAM will be used for the entirety of the running of the program. And is that what we want to do? Are we going to access these arrays anywhere else? They will have to be refreshed if we access them anyway, or they will be, because they'll be global arrays if we change anything in those arrays. Are we only going to use those arrays in this add game button click event, or are we going to use them anywhere else? So we have to ask ourselves that question. Every time you make a global variable, you must know why, and if you're going to use it in many different places. Well, I think I would say yes. Actually, no, not necessarily, because the BT and add game is only going to read from the combo boxes, not from the arrays. Edit game is not going to read from the arrays, and neither will delete game. And I would say it's safe to say that we'll make them local variables. So okay, we'll go on to the on-show event again, make them local to this on-show event. If we can change it later on if you want. ARR names, ARR names, colon array, and now there could be quite a lot of names, 1, 2, 1,000 even of string, or maybe even 2,000 depending on how far you want to go. And ARR schools array 1 to 1,000 of string, and then we have to have a counter, our count colon integer. So we're going to read from the database of the tables. Now I know I put all the player names in all the other combo boxes. I'm not going to worry about that code. I'll probably have to delete it later. But what I am going to do is go through TBL player. So we'll say TBL player dot first. Go to the first row. And then we'll say while not TBL player. And I'm going through every single row so I don't have to use a Boolean flag. And I'm not going to stop the loop until I get to the end of the table anyway, so we don't need to use a b found equals true and false. TBL player dot next. And then we've got to set our count equal to 0, a counter. And these are parallel arrays, so our count will work with both. And over here we'll say if. No, we're not saying if. No if at all. No if at all. We're going to say ARR player AR names. Oh, we're going to increment a counter. Increment our counter and then put it into the appropriate box number. I mean that counter number. Increment count, our count, and then AR names box number our count will be equal to TBL players square brackets player name, and then we'll say error schools box number our count, index number our count. I'm supposed to use the word index, colon equals TBL player square brackets school, and that'll be it. That'll fill the two arrays, no problem. But now we're going to sort. We'll sort them according to school name. We don't really have to, but let's do that. Yeah, we need to get individual ones. We want to get the duplicates. We want to make an array of school names. So we've got AR schools and we've got AR names. You don't have to sort them. What we are going to do is try and get only individual school names into another array called ARR I'm going to call it distinct colon array. Keep it at 1000 just for fun of string, and we'll need a counter called our num. Any counter distinct schools. Okay, distinct schools. Our schools. Make it our schools counter. Right, so we can say our schools colon equals 0. Set it to 0. Now we know we've got array names and array schools. We're going through array schools. We're not going to mess it around. It's going to stay in its order. It's these two will be parallel arrays, which we will refer to later on when we fill our combo boxes up. But the R schools, now this is your array section done for your PAT. So if you do this, then you have your arrays done in your PAT basically. And it's complex arrays, because what we're doing here now is going to go through every box of AR schools and add it to the ARR distinct schools. Now if we know we're going to go through every box, we need to have a for loop counter. We might need another for loop counter to go through the other, thing we'll see now. So for k equals 1, 2, the total number of boxes that have been filled in ARR schools is our count. Do begin and end. begin and end. Now we know that ARR distinct schools doesn't have anything to start off with, but we have to check if ARR schools box number K, if pos of ARR schools box number K is inside the other array. So let's try this. Let's make a for loop for L equals 1 2 1 2. Wait, no, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. R schools is naught. Okay, so we'll just increment R schools. So we'll increment R schools. Increment. No, we're not going to increment R schools. The array is going to be empty to start off. But we have to find out if the school name that we want to put into that distinct array of schools, if it does exist there. And how are we going to go through that array of schools if we have got an empty school array? What we really want to do is go and put it in. So this is going to be a problem. We know the array is empty. It will have about, maximum 1,000 boxes. So whether I'm going to use a while loop or a for loop, that is the question. While L is less than 1,000, will increment. No. See, it's no point, because we want to say if pos of AR schools K, if that's in AR distinct. No. If AR schools K equals, at some point we want to check to see if it's equal to AR distinct schools. No, we actually want to see if we're going to go through the rest of the array. So it's more like sorting almost. So we're going to say for K equals 1 to R count minus 1, and then for L equals K plus 1 to R count do begin and end. Now we use this for the sorting algorithm. Let me just open an Excel spreadsheet to demonstrate how this is going to work. So I'm going to open Excel, because I like to work in some notes of some sort while we're trying to figure out how we're going to do this. We don't want duplicates in our AR distinct schools. And R schools is going to be our counter to add another school to AR distinct schools. So we're going to fill a new array, but only if. So let's go and see. Now we've got an array of names. Let's just make some random names quickly. Jack. Sorry for all the J's. I don't know why I always seem to use J's. And then we'll put some random schools in. P, college, VP, VHS, Tom, let's make another PHS. So if this is the array of schools, okay, so let's go and check out our array of schools and make it like that. I'm assuming you can see. So this is ARR schools, and this is ARR names. So we have these two arrays and they're parallel, and they're boxes 1, 2, 5 in this case. If it works for a small set of data, it should work for a large set of data. So how does that code so far work? So basically, a nested for loop, it's taking the first box to the second last one. The second loop is going to go one more than the first box, and then go to the last one. So for the first run of loop, box number 1 is VP. Okay, we don't need the names at all. So we're only dealing with the array of schools. So box number 1 is VP. We better make that capital. And we better do a case thing as well. So if box number 1 is VP, then it's going to go and see if it exists in the rest. Okay, and if it doesn't, if it does exist in the rest of these array boxes, then we're going to ignore. And then we take the next one, and if it doesn't exist in the thing, then we are going to add that one to the new array. And then we go to this one. If it exists in the rest, then we will add it to the new. Then we take this one. If it does exist, we can ignore. And then the last one, if it doesn't exist, well, it doesn't, then we will add it to our ARR schools. I mean, our ARR distinct schools. So if this is ARR distinct school, let me just try and distinct schools. So ARR distinct schools, we want to fill up boxes, okay? We don't know how much they're going to be. There could be 1,000 or whatever. Anyway, so we, for our for loop for k equals 1 to r count minus 1 is going to go to the second last one. It will go from there to there. Okay, if you can remember that. And then L is going to go from that one all the way to the end. So if box number 1, so it's going from, it's going to take the first box. Okay, let's just make a color code for K and a color code for L. So this can be the L, K, sorry. K is not going to do this one. And then L is this color code. Okay, so this is K and this is L. So K's, so we've got K, we've got box number 1, VP. Then the L loop is going to go and see, is it there? No. Is it there? Yes. Well, then we're not going to do anything. Right. Then K is now going to be 2, and L is going to go from 3, which is not what we really want, is it now? No, we don't want it to go from the K plus 1. We want it to go from the beginning. So L is going to go from 1 to the last box. And is K going to go from 1 to the second last box? Well, we will see about that. So if L is going to go, L is going to be, let's try to do this again after we've traced through. I'm going to trace through this in our heads. Right, K is VP. VP, they're going to take VP, and then L is going to go through all the boxes, and if it sees one, and it does, then it's going to ignore. Right. Then K is now going to be 2. And then K is going to go through L is going to go through all the boxes, and actually it does see it in box number 2, doesn't it? So it actually has to be K plus 1. Yeah, that's right. It has to be K plus 1. My bad. K plus 1. K plus 1. Right, let's try this again. Delete. L's not going to go through the first box. K is going to start at the first box, and then L is going to go through all of that. And if it sees it, then it's thing. But the problem is, L is going to be 2, and we can't start from there. So that is not going to work. So not K plus 1. Let's go from K to R count. Right, so for the second run of the loop, K will be 2. Okay. No, but that's fine. That's fine. No, it's fine. K plus 1 is fine. I'm stupid. Plus 1. Because what are we going to do if we don't find it? L is going to go all the way there, so we're going to go and put that name into distinct schools. So college is going to be there. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So if K is 3, and then L is 3 plus 1, it doesn't find it, so then it's going to put VP in there. Then K will be 4, but L will find it, so it's not going to do anything. Now, we have the situation here. I think we need to actually do something here, because if K is 4, then L is going to be 5, and we found it. Yeah, that's not going to be good at all. Because VP, yeah, PHS, I think we need, K needs to go all the way to the end. Yeah, if K is 4, L will be 5 plus 1. So that will be the last box, won't it? And we can't miss that last box. So let's try and figure that one out. K is 4, VP, then we have, it will go through, it can't find, so VP in, and it does find it, but K needs to go to 5. We need to go to 5. And otherwise, we're not going to get our BHS, this school, into our distinct schools. It will be non-existent, so that wouldn't be right at all. Right. Because it works for everything else. If I say that I'm going to, if ARR schools K equals ARR schools L, then we'll say B found equals true. We'll make a Boolean flag, I'll declare it later. And then, before I go to the next K, if B found equals false, then we will increment our counter for increment our schools and go and put in increment our schools and then we'll put in ARR distinct schools, box number R schools will be equal to whatever K is, ARR schools box number K. Okay, this is an advanced program. We actually don't do this in grade 11, but I mean, you know, it really helps for us to know how to do it. I've just forgotten. I'm starting doing this on a forgetful note. Right, I said I was going to go from K equals 1 to R count minus 1. And we know that the L loop is going to go all the way to R count. We're going to be left with one last one. Of course, we're going to have to say B found equals false over here before each run of the loop, of the inside loop. We'll set B found equal to false before we go through K plus 1 to R count. Because if we find it, we say true, you know, it's going to go through everything and look for it. And if B found is true, well, we do nothing. But if B found is still false, we didn't find another one, then we're going to go and put that school into that array of distinct schools. And while I'm about it, let's go and declare our B found variable here. So now we go and loop through. I'm going to go and trace through my algorithm again. Right, so I know this was VP, but L is not going to go to VP at all, so we can make that no full. K, if we go from K from 4 to 5, over here L will be inaccessible because it will be from 6. So yeah, that's not going to work either. What we're going to do is maybe put an if statement in there, and we can't use this actual data. We have to assume that all data is going to be different. So if we have this scenario, it's going to be a problem. So let's try it again. K is 1. L is going to go to all of the boxes, K plus 1 to the end. All right, VP. So VP is the first box, and do we find it there? Oh, we find it there. So B found is true, so nothing happens. And then K, B found gets set to false, and we go to the next box, K plus 1. The next box, number 2. 2 B found is set to false, and then we go through L again. Number 2. So we're going to go through all of this, and we don't find it, so we go and add college. Then K is 3, and L goes from 4 to 5, and then we add VP. Then K is 4, then L is 5. Now, unfortunately, yeah, we have a sticky situation because we have it equal. We said if it was equal, then we were going to basically forget about it. I mean, if it's equal, we're not going to do anything. And L is now reached, the last box. So over here, what we can do is add an empty string into box number L in the array names, an empty string, so that we have 6 boxes, and then for PH, for the second one, if we don't find it, then we know. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add another array, another box to AR schools value. So our count will then be incremented over here, and I think that's going to work. And then I'll say AR schools box number our count will be equal to an empty string, and I'll do the same for AR names. So we'll put an empty names box number our count. We'll do the same for the other one because they're parallel arrays. It's not going to harm anything. It's not going to bother anybody. And then it should work, because then we'll have this empty box numbers here, and this one can safely go to the end, to one more. Oops, the wrong color here. One more than there is already, so it'll go to 6. So our count will be 6. And let's try it again, shall we? So box number 1, K is 1, L is K plus 1, so it's going to go through all the way to our count. And if it does find a match, then we're not doing anything, and K is going to start at 2. Then if K is 2, L is going to be 3 all the way to the end, and if it doesn't find a match, then we will add that name to AR distinct schools. Then K is now 3, and L is going to go from 4 to 5, and it didn't find any matches, so VP is added. Then K is 4, and then L is going to go to 5 and 6, and it doesn't find anything. It is a match. There is a there, so it doesn't do anything. K is going to go to 5, and then L is going to look at box number 6, and it doesn't find anything, and so PHS will be added. Now this is my theory. I'm sure there's a better one, but we are going to use that one, so everything can stay just as it is. Then of course we're going to fill our combo box with the array of distinct schools. So I'm going to say ARR schools dot clear, not AR schools, sorry, CMB, combo box CMB schools, because remember we're in the on-show event of this thing. We're filling this array and we're doing it in the onShow event. All of this array manipulation is happening there in the onShow event. Then we're going to say for, because we're using a for loop, for k equals 1 to I schools, the number of schools. 1 to I schools, do begin and end. Then we will combo box cmb schools dot items dot add, and in brackets we're going to say arr distinct schools square brackets k. Now remember, I schools is counting each time we add a school into that array of distinct schools. And just to be fancy, we will go and sort it in alphabetical order. Right, so now what we're going to do is CMB player 1 can hold one school and CMB player 2 can hold another school's thing, but the thing is we have quite a lot of schools, eh? We might have like many schools, and player 1 must come from one school and player 2 must come from another school, and that's the tricky part. And we were going to choose from schools. But while this array, these combo boxes are filled, let's double check our code, see if it actually does work. That would be a miracle. We're adding a game, and here's my array of schools, VPS college and EDT venue. Oh, there you are. That's right. There's only 3 schools, college, VPS. So if you choose a school, then we will fill the combo box with one of the combo boxes with the learners from that school, and we'll choose another school and fill the combo box with one of those learners, and that's what we will do. So what happens is they will choose a school and then they will choose a learner from each of those combo boxes, and the winner will be filled with all the players. Or I don't know, well, maybe I guess we can do that. We'll see how we're going to put the winner into the combo box for winners. I know I added all the players randomly, and that's going to be very messy because you can't just choose all the players. So CMB player 1, so we get the schools, and this combo box, these combo boxes I am going to delete. I'm not filling them up from thing, and because it's much easier, we are going to, because we're going to use this on more than one event, so we will have to put our arrays as global variables, because we can use them in the button click and the on change events, and so on change events of the combo box. So it's going to be pretty messy, so we have to make them global variables, but it's fine, we can do that. Our count schools, our schools must also be here. Our schools colon integer. And I just want to warn you about one thing. Can you see I've got our schools there, and you see that I cut and pasted them, these arrays, because you cannot have duplicate, you can't have array names here that are the same as any button click events. You can't have any of these names anywhere else in any of your buttons. Like our schools, for instance, is in that on click, that on show event of that form. Our schools is on the on show event of this tab sheet. See, our schools is there. You can't do that. It will, the process is going to get very angry indeed, and your program will have a bug, officially have a bug. So, right, so what we've done so far in our on-show event, we're not going to fill those combo boxes randomly with all the learners' names, because that's not making any sense at all. What we are going to do is maybe only have one combo box for a player, so that they can choose a school and then choose a player, because you're going to have two schools playing, so they're going to choose a school, choose a player, and then they're going to do it again to choose another player. So when they choose the school, then the player combo box will be filled, and then we'll have a button to choose player 1 and a button to choose player 2. So we don't need two combo boxes, we just need two we just need one for schools and one for player, and that is called player 1. I can call it something else, CMB schools and CMB choose player or something, CMB choose player. I hope I haven't, okay, I haven't done it. So you can have a button for player 1 and a button for player 2. So we know we've got all of that and we've got that, but these are going to be obviously trickier to deal with. I don't know if I shouldn't. You see, the winner, if we choose a player, we're going to put them in, if they choose a school and a player, we're going to put them into like labels or panels. Maybe we'll put it into panels. Yeah, we'll put the players into a panel when they choose a player. And I'll go and get some panels here. That's for one player, and another panel for another player. So we give these names so that we'll store it on the tab sheet here, and I'll call this panel PNL player 1, and this can be PNL player 2. We're not going to touch the add game yet. And then for the winner, they're just going to, yeah, we're going to have to choose a winner from that one. And then over here, we'll fill this combo box up with the winner, and they can choose who won. So we'll fill it up with players. This is just to show them that they've got two players. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So when we change, when the on change event of that, we'll fill this, and then the on change event of that will display player 1, and then we're going to have another choice. They have to click a school, and then they'll choose that, and that's going to be in player 2. So yeah, there's all different ways of doing this, but trying to make it as user-friendly as possible. Fortunately, I've managed to fill the combo box up with schools, and as you can see, there are only 3 VPPHs in college, so it actually worked. My algorithm worked. I know there's probably another algorithm to do it, but I just did it on, I like to start over again, I guess. I don't necessarily like to read algorithms and then apply them, because that's not really learning anything. So, okay, this can be squashed in here. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Okay, now what were we going to do? Yeah, the combo box of schools is filled, and then the click on when they choose a combo box, when they choose an item, it would be in the on click or the on change. I would say on click or on change is also a good one. On change. Let's just see how we operate this. Okay, thank goodness I've got CMB player, choose player. Oh wait, it's because, yeah, all this code is choose player. This code is all wrong. We're not going to use this anymore. Here, I've deleted. So let's go and delete all of this stuff that we did before when we filled the combo box up yesterday, or the previous video. That's fine. You've learned something from filling combo boxes up. That's good. CMB choose player. Okay. Right. Okay, fine. Throwing exceptions at me. Are you? File, save all. F12. EDT venue, winner. Okay. F12. And we're not going to worry about that anymore. Because when we have a game, we are definitely going to have a player. So I'm not worrying about combo boxes being empty. There was just one option way of doing it. I'm doing it a completely different way, where we're going to fill the schools and then filter the players for that school into that combo box called CMB choose player. So whatever school was chosen, then we will do that. Now CMB, okay, this is add a game, insert, this is the button to add a game. Okay, so okay, so this was doing that. We can delete that stuff, because we're going to refresh all of that. We've got the insert there, but we haven't got our IS1 and IS2 yet, so let's just comment that out so that we can test our coding, what we're going to do. And this is the button to add the game. This is the actual button for adding a game. We're going to do a completely different thing, because in the on change event of combo schools, we're going to filter all the names of the children for that school and put them in that CMB choose player combo box. So let's do that. I was deciding whether I was going to use on change or not. Let's make sure that when we go to CMB schools that we can actually choose. So on change is the right thing, because then this combo box will be filled. Okay, and then when they choose a player, we'll put it in player 1, and then they have to choose another player, and then it'll put in player 2, and they will know that they must do that, and then they will choose a winner from these two players. So this player 1 and player 2 will be filled into this combo box winner, and then we will be able to add the game from there. Right, so the on change event of CMB schools, on change, there it is, double click. We are going to go through the array. Now we're going to use arrays, the two arrays, the parallel arrays, and we will use a for loop. Are we going to use a for loop? Yeah, why not? For k equals 1 2 1 2. We're going through the array of the names, AR names. It's AR names, and it goes up to our count. Here's my on change event again. We also have to get the name of the school. That's S school. We want to get that name too, don't we? String S school. We want to get that from the combo box. S school colon equals AR not CMB schools dot text. And now we're going to go for k equals 1 to our count. Going through the global array, begin and end. We're going through every single box. We're going to say if. We use a for loop. We're going through every single box. Okay. If ARR schools box number k equals school, and to be very, very safe, we can use uppercase. Why not? We've got strings, and you always have to put these kind of checks and balances in place when you're doing programming. You never know. Uppercase arrow schools K equals uppercase school that we got from the combo box, then we will say we're going to add that name. We're going to add the name to CMB choose player. Then CMB choose player dot items dot add okay, school. And it won't be uppercase, it'll be fine. So that combo box is now filled. And to prove that it actually works, yeah, we could sort it as well too. Go to add gram and then choose a PH college and then, oh, not the school. Ah, how stupid I am. It's supposed to be ARR names. Box number K. Silly Billy. We also need to clear the combo box. It's a good idea. CMB choose player dot clear, and then we'll put it in alphabetical order. CMB choose player dot sorted colon equals true. So there it is. Go to add game, choose let's choose college, and you see there's those two people, and then when we change we want to put it in one of these. We'll put it in the first one. We'll have a counter for the on change event of this combo box here. We only want them to change twice, so we have to have a counter maximum of 2 times. I'll make it our count change. Remember, when you're having a counter of anything like a button click, in this case an on change event, then you make a global variable. So the choose player is also going to be an on change event. And we'll increment our count. Oh gosh, I can't remember what I called it. Darn. Our count change. Ugh. Get back, get back, get back, get back. I still haven't figured out how to get 2 lines of code without having to go to the event. And our count change. Then I'm going to, if our count change is greater than 2, then show message and exit. Do I want to exit? Yeah. You will be replacing a name. Replacing the first name. We'll be replacing a name. I'm just going to put that, replacing a name. A player. Where? Right. Now we'll increment. Oops. You'll see just now what this is going to do. I'm not 100% sure myself, but we will see. Right. What we're going to do is we'll increment our count change, and then we will add that to remember the combo box is called, what is it called? No, the panel, PNL player 1, PNL player 2, and so on. So what we want to do is increment our panel name as well. So I'm going to do the following: s-line colon string s-line colon equals player 1 player PNL, sorry, PNL player plus int to string. Oh wait, no, we just use an if statement, for heaven's sake. Stupid, 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 stupid. Case our count change of 1. Then we will put PNL player 1 dot caption will be equal to CMB choose player dot text, and if it's 2, then PNL player 2 dot caption will be whatever is chosen in the combo box. We can have an else, yeah, in the case. Else you'll show a message if there's any other number, then we'll show a message and we'll put it in player 1's caption. PNL player 1 dot caption. Yeah, I'm guessing. Right, this is the choose player change event. So let's try and see if it works. If it does, if it works, if it works, if it works. Go to add game. We're going to choose a school. And I'm going to choose player 1, and then I'm going to choose player 2, and then if I go choose another one, you will be replacing a player. So that's fine. And then CMB winner, we will fill the combo box up with these two names as well as putting them in the panel. So yeah, should I do it over here or should I do it over there? Wait, no, I don't have to do that there. I can do it over here. CMB winner dot items dot add, and I will put in player 1 dot caption, Control C, and we'll do the same for player 2 dot caption, Control C, and we will also clear it, CMB winner dot clear, and we'll put it in alphabetical order, CMB winner dot sorted colon equals true. So we should have those in the combo box as well. Go to add game, so we're going to choose PHS, we're going to choose that, and then maybe we'll choose another one, and then we'll see that they are here, and we can choose the winner, and now we can go and take that. So player 1 will be this one, player 2 will be that one, and that'll be the winner. So, and you have to put labels on these things. Okay, as you can see, I haven't got player 1 written here on this label of this panel, and I haven't got player 2 written on that panel. So that is what we have to do. Just remember. I think that's sort of right. You can maybe fix this part up with more investigation. Right, now we go on to our button to actually add a game at last. So we know we're going to have the caption there, and a text there, and the checkbox true or false there, and the venue there. So for player 1 and player 2, and I've deleted all that code, but that's fine, we're just going to have to do it again. Delete. It's not bad, because at least we'll get to know what we're doing. We have to have IS1 and IS2, S player 1 and player 2, the venue, the draw, the date. So S1 will be equal to, in this case now, it's going to be the panel PNL player 1 dot caption, and S2 is going to be equal to PNL player 2 dot caption. Now you see you've done your array manipulation, your complex arrays as well, and that's good, but we have to get the winner. So swin will be equal to CMB winner dot caption, and then we're going to go through the loop to find all the player IDs of those things. And if they don't put in a player and they add the game anyway without the player, well, S1 has to be filled. What if we didn't actually choose a player and we just swin CMB winner dot text, sorry, the combo box is a text property. Right, so what if we didn't actually choose any player? Right, now I'm going to get rid of that little thing. We just want to see what happens if we didn't actually choose a player. And then we add the game. Going to change the record because later is, that's well. Player 1 has to have the first player have to have a player ID for that first one. Remember, because it's the primary key, it's a foreign key over here. So player ID has to have a value. So the first there we have to have the caption, player 1 caption must be filled. So in this button click we're going to find out if S1 is empty. Now the thing is, you can see that the captions are here. You have to get rid of these captions before runtime. I'm just going to do it now, but you must know that you can't write your code, submit it with those names and everything. And even the combo box must be cleared. The text mustn't be in the combo box. You mustn't have the name of the combo box here. I'm just doing it so that, because we are busy, and I know it's easier for you to do this. But I will take these captions off here because we're going to test to see if they're empty. So if this one's empty for real, if player 1 dot caption is an empty string, then we have to exit this method. Equals an empty string, then we have to show message and exit. Show message must have player 1 caption, and you must know what you're going to write because this is not right. Exits, and then we can do that. Now we can also have a question if we can also ask about the other one, but we're not going to exit them. If player 2 dot caption is equal to an empty string, then all we're going to do is say that rs2 colon equals naught, and the same for the combo box CMB winner dot item index equals -1. It's a better way to do it. Now actually we have to put these over here. Else begin and end. We're going to do everything to get the RS2 value, which is player 1's player ID. Player 2's player ID. And I win is 0. The same with this one. We haven't got an exit, so we have to do begin, end. We have to do else and begin and end, because we can't exit just because they didn't put in a winner, and just because they didn't put in a caption. We can't exit. We're only going to exit if the player 1 is empty. So over here, to get player 1's value, we have to get we have to have IS1. In other words, the player ID. We have to look through this table to find the player ID. It's very important. We have to do that. And to do that, we go to the first row of the table. And then while not TBL player dot end of file do begin and end, and we will use the be found Boolean flag to stop, save the processor time, save the processor energy. Got to set it to false beforehand though, the Boolean flag, and be found is there. And if we have our if statement, if TBL player square brackets player name colon, if it equals S1, which we got from the caption of the panel, then we will say be found colon equals true, and we will say RS1 colon equals TBL player square brackets player ID. We also have to make sure before we end this loop TBL player dot next. So that's when we will have it, and we're now going to do that for the other two. In the else part, and just change this to IS2 and S2, and then over here we'll change this to S win and I win. So, and then that should be it. And let's see if it actually works. Be a miracle. Miracle. Go to add game. Right, I'm just going to put in anything here. Let's see, college. And then for the other school, PHS and Joseph. And then we'll see who's the winner, and then we'll click on add game. And oh, we've got a draw as well. That's stupid. You can't have a draw and a winner. We should actually put that in code, eh? Yep, we should. In fact, we're going to do the following. If, just so they don't make a mistake, if B draw equals true, if B draw equals true, then I win colon equals naught. That's it. So that will rule out that option, so people can't make a mistake. You click the draw, you know, college is going to play against, college is Sizwe. Is Sizwe in college? Well, maybe, yeah. And then the second one, PHS, John. And they can't have, if they say there's a winner and we add it, then that is naught, even though we said a winner is John. So there we go. Of course there's some faults here. We're supposed to delete those two there, that EDT venue. We have to, we'll be moving on to the delete method soon. Right, so we've got insert done. Actually, I'm a bit amazed. There's just one thing. Let's go and see in our on-show event what actually happened. Because we normally refresh everything after the on-show event, don't we? We normally do, yes. So, the combo box schools and all of that we're actually going to do. We are going to refresh everything. Refresh the combo box and all of that stuff. Control C. So when everything happens in the on-show event, after we've finished our button click, we have to actually refresh everything else. After we finished all this code here, after we inserted, Control V, and of course we've got K and L to worry about, as and there might be some other variables missing, so sometimes running, and then you can see which variables you have to go and put in, which is what I'm doing. Otherwise it takes too much time to go and sift through the code. And go to add. So I'm going to use this, and then we're going to use PHS Joseph, and I will just say that, and new one, just to show that it's different. And now you'll see that the we should actually set that to -1. This should be set to -1. After you've added a but every game, you should actually refresh, like set your combo boxes to -1. I thought that this would do it, because after we used it we sorted equals true. Okay, we do need to set the choose a name, this combo box, choose player, I mean CMB choose player dot index, wait, sorry, item index current equals -1. That means it will be clear. There won't be anything, well, will only be anything in that combo box when you actually choose a school anyway, so you have to set it to -1. Otherwise it's going to be messy. And we need to go and put that into the other on-show event, the on-show event of this tab sheet as well, so that the choose player.item index is going to remain empty until it's actually filled by clicking on the combo box for the schools, if you know what I'm saying. So if we go and do that, we can add that game, and there's no player ID is naught, and there's no winner. Now what if we wanted to edit a game? So that is going to be the tricky part, where we're going to actually choose a game to edit. And that's going to be a whole big story. So I'll see you on that one when we get to it.